What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about the reasons why, how I feel kind of like I feel so restricted. I feel very like kind of discouraged in a way because of the society we're living in, because of how this world is set up. The reason why I feel kind of discouraged in a way is because like I feel like because in order for you, it all starts with the money system. In order for you to make money, you have to work 5 times a week just to make money, just to have your own place, just to have your own car and stuff like that. And I understand there's different substitutes. Like you could do trade, you could do cryptocurrency, you could do crime, um, you could scam people. There's so much ways to make money. I mean not really. I guess there is like having your own YouTube channel and shit like that, but you gotta keep in mind like everyone is unique, everyone is different. Not what works for someone may not work for the other person. So you can see other people who like to say, oh, they can make a lot of money online, but other people that could be completely different. Like what Chauncey once said on his YouTube channel. And shout out to him. Like he said, you could do the same proper steps as someone as who made it big on their fucking YouTube channel, right? But if the person were to do the same steps, they won't do it because it's about the energy, it's about the your purpose and your life mission and the things you're meant to experience and shit like that. This is why you have some certain people who are born into wealth, who they don't have to do as much, and other people who don't have to like work or do jack shit just to make money. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have different life missions and different life purposes. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense because, like what Chauncey once said, if anyone were to if all these online courses where you can make money online and you can be financially free, if all these things were legit, then how come a lot of people aren't at that level? You know what I'm saying? Like he said, like if it was that easy, then he could, like what Chauncey once said, like with these people who make money online and they claim that it works and that they could become very successful with it, then why can't they put their sell their courses and their books all over the world and all over the country, and a lot of people could do it, right? But in reality, that's not happening. It's like, so it was weird. So I feel like when it comes to money and wealth, I feel like everything from a spiritual aspect is controlled and restricted. I feel like we're meant to be restricted to a certain extent based on our the lessons we need to learn. It just sucks. I don't know, man. Because me, like, I have a lot of like bitterness and anger towards this human experience because I feel like I'm constantly in situations to where like I shouldn't really be in, but I'm forced to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know for what purpose. I know it's to test my persistence, my and I don't know, man. I have a strong desire to really like just to travel around the world and to really do my own thing and to not having to work for the system. It's not me being lazy. I'm 27. I've been working my whole life. I've been in different career fields. I've done so many jobs, and yes, I made money. Yes, I've gotten things from it, but it's just like it's draining. You know what I'm saying? Like, is all my life meant to just fucking work all my life and just to do this bullshit? You know what I'm saying? So it's annoying. It really is annoying. And like it's just weird because I see certain people, like I'm not gonna mention names, but you see people who are very like famous and shit like that, and you see them becoming very well known, and like they're having like millions of subscribers, like over 1,000 subscribers, and they're making so much money and they're financially free, and the type of content they're making, the type of shit they dish out is nothing but bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Versus other people who actually take time out of their day to make good content, is like they're not getting a damn thing because YouTube is being shadow banned. There's a lot of restrictions in YouTube. Apparently, there's like a certain algorithm within YouTube channels to where like they want to. The people who are corrupt, their main objective is to dish out bullshit towards the public, towards the society, so people could remain dumbed down in a way. So how they use YouTube for that is by having quote unquote puppets or people who either know what they're doing or they don't know what they're doing to constantly spew out a lot of bullshit on YouTube, on their YouTube videos, like making nonsense videos that aren't evolving or help exposing the system or help not with self-development, some shit like that. And then they make these channels purposely grow bigger and bigger, and they make them have a lot more money, or like they speak about certain topics at such a mundane bullshit shallow ass level, and that would keeps people stuck. So then they make these type of channels grow. And shout out to Chauncey, that's what he mentioned. He's right. So if we're dealing with a situation like that, and people who actually make good content, speak real shit, which our people do speak real shit, but they're not growing at all, then that tells you that yes, there's a lot of corruption and restriction when it comes to social media, when it comes to the internet. Because what's the point of trying to like not be a slave for the system if even the whole social media internet is being controlled and restricted? So what the fuck is going on? So this is why I keep thinking to myself, like, from a spiritual perspective, like, away from the society is worldly view. From a spiritual perspective, are we also being restricted in a way? Because why is that certain people, they're experiencing so much wealth and abundance, while you have other people who have to slave their whole life away just to not even make as much as the people who didn't have to work as much? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, are we meant to go through this? Is God or the universe or our higher self or our spirit, are they meant to make us experience doing this bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Because like this system is full of shit, because we're in the type of reality where like your worth is defined by money. People would say your worth isn't defined by money and by your resources. I get what they're saying, but according to the society, according to this world, that's not the case. According to this world and this society, in order for you to make money and to have if you have money and you have resources, you're considered valuable. Why? Because you have money, then you're allowed to eat. If you have money, you're allowed to fucking have clothes, have shelter, and have resources. So that pretty much tells you that you're worthy of it. But if you don't make money, if you don't have enough money, if you don't have connections or resources, then that means you can't get access to electricity, Wi-Fi, a phone, a car, clothes, food, water, shelter. So that, according to society, tells you that you're not worth to getting those things because you haven't made money. And we also live in the type of societies to where like money doesn't determine how hard you work. So there's like people who commit crimes and who scam people for money, who steal people money. I got money stolen. I know people who gotten scammed. These people who scam money or stealing other people's money, they didn't have to work. They didn't have to work as hard. They're just very skilled at being manipulative. What about people who win the fucking lottery? They didn't have to work. They didn't have to work, slave their whole life away. Versus other jobs, or some jobs where you ain't gotta do jack shit, but they pay more compared to the average job, like these trades jobs. They don't get, or the military, or like trades and it's hard labor jobs. They don't get paid as much as someone who makes a fucking YouTube channel and who says nothing but bullshit and make gaming fucking channels, who sit on their asses all day for a living, and they're pretty much financially free, pretty much. So if we live in this type of situation, so what the fuck is going on? So this is what I'm getting at. Like, it seems like we don't have no type of free will, and this world doesn't operate off of morals or off of it's not balanced. There's huge imbalance, and it's been going on since human history. So nothing's really changing. So what's actually going on? Yes, we are aware that we do have corrupt ass people who rule over this world. But I mean, they've been able to get away for such a long time, and they've been doing this. But I'd be thinking, like, is there a spiritual reason behind this as well? Because spiritually, since we have astrology and these Mercury retrogrades and these full moon cycles, who kind of dictate how our energy is going to be in, depending on our zodiac signs, that kind of controls our free will to a certain extent as well. Spiritually, why is it that some people are born into very abusive, dysfunctional families while other people aren't? People are born into very wealthy families to where they don't have to work, while other people, they're born into poverty. So that all this shit, is it a coincidence, or are people meant to experience certain things within this human experience prior to them reincarnating? So is the universe responsible for it? And that's the case. Is the universe responsible for this? Is God responsible for this? Is our higher self responsible for this? So what the fuck is going on? You know? And people may say, oh, it's all about faith and you can't stress too much about your present moment. It's all about planning and dreaming and hoping for the future. I get what they're saying, but at the same time, is like, there are times where the universe and God and spirit, they will block your path from, or they will keep your path restricted in a way to where you don't know what's going on. You're just forced to have faith, pretty much. So you're forced to like just plan out and hope for the best. So within life, there's no really guarantees, and there's like, especially you got time speeding up and the days are going by a lot faster. It's really hard for me. I'm not sure how it is for the average person because we're all different, but I'm sure other people experience as well. But at least for me, it's so hard for me to live a type of ideal lifestyle when, in order for you to actually maneuver and to have the things you want and to do things you want, you need to make money. In order for you to make money, you have to work for these jobs. It's hard to make money online. It's hard to do trades and all this shit. It is possible, but it takes a lot of time. It's a lot faster working for a bullshit job, working damn near 5 times a week for the whole day to make money, compared to try to figure out on how to make money through trading, through like cryptocurrency, through fucking having your own fucking platform on social media. That shit takes time. It takes energy. It takes work. You know, they both waste their energy, 9 to 5s and doing social media. Because most people, this is why, like, you look at females, for example. Do you think females actually enjoy making OnlyFans and them having possible for them having a reputation that, oh, they're a hoe, they're a slut, or like they're this and that, they're a no life because they have an OnlyFans? That's the possible risk factors of them having an OnlyFans, especially if they're growing. A lot of people will know about them. But from a female's perspective, they are aware of it. At least I'm guessing they are aware of it. But like they don't like doing it, but they have to do it in order for them to make extra money on the side. If the money system wasn't corrupted, if we were never restricted through the money system, all of us were financially free and we live in a very fair, good world, which we don't, then most people wouldn't be doing half the shit they're doing. Most people wouldn't be working for these jobs. Most females wouldn't be having an OnlyFans or selling their bodies, like prostitution, or them being strippers and them selling their bodies and risking having a bad reputation in order for them to feed their family, kids, and to survive, pretty much. Same thing for other people. Most people, they don't like working for these jobs, but they're forced to do it in order for them to make money and to gain benefits, pretty much. Like free college, or get to travel a little bit and to have some income, pretty much, So that's the type of reality we live in. And it's just like, why is it that we're subjected to this bullshit? And there are a lot of people who do talk about this shit, but it's just like, there's no really change being going on. And it's like, let's be real, who the fuck wants to actually like protest or to find different ways to change this shit? You could change it by voicing your opinion through social media, but that's the most we could do. You do have people who are protesting, but I'm not trying to seem like I'm not trying to seem pessimistic or a downer, but this shit's been ongoing. There's no real change being made. I understand I'm talking about it, but do I have solutions to make this shit better? No, I don't. But we're all kind of like subjected into this bullshit growing up. As soon as we were born, we were forced to go to school. We weren't forced to question anything because our parents didn't know any better. Maybe they did, but they didn't have the brain capacity to actually explain to us what the fuck is going on, or they didn't give a shit, or they genuinely don't know what the fuck is going on. So they assume that forcing us to go to school and from preschool all the way to high school is good for us, and now we're forced to get a job and everything we got to pay for. Now we got to be a slave for this bullshit ass system. So growing up, we didn't question much of what the fuck is going on. These school systems, they're not going to show us. They're not going to teach us what the fuck is going on because they're part of the system ruled by evil ass people. This is why they teach a bunch of bullshit and waste our time. They don't teach anything useful that help you be outside the system. They'll help you stay in the system. For example, they teach you on how to like work a job, how to have a resume and shit. They don't even do a good job with that shit. Like, if you're gonna be part of this bullshit ass system, at least do it right. But they can't even do that. What the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking retarded. But either way, y'all get what I'm saying. They teach the basic shit: English, math, reading, writing, and other bullshit like that you don't fucking need. Except the only thing that's useful for school is you being around people and socializing, you being introduced to sports and reading and writing. That's pretty much it. But other than that, school wastes your fucking time pretty much. It teaches you how to think out of box, and it makes everyone operate the same way with these tests and these quizzes, and we're forced to think the same, we're forced to abide by the same fucking rules. We're not forced to think outside the box or to be different in a way. Even if there are programs like that, which I doubt it, it's still because of how it's set up and like what's the word? I'm tired. This is how it's set up, this is how it's expected of students to, you know what I'm saying? So, so the expectations of school to have people show up at the same time, to learn the same things, to go to the same classes and get out at the same time. That programs you to think the same as people, not to think outside the box pretty much. So it's fucking crazy. It costs so much money. You got to pay for everything. You got to pay for water. You got to pay for gas. You got to pay for fucking electricity, Wi-Fi, all this shit. So it's like, are people really living their genuine lives, or are we just surviving and coping with life? Because I haven't made a video about this. Life doesn't feel like life. The older I'm getting, life feels like school, and life feels like work. And I'm not gonna explain too much into it, but when I made a video about that, it was true, because life feels like a school, because every time we're constantly going through bullshit, we're constantly going through some type of trauma, We're constantly going through some type of pain. Not only us, but the people around us. There's a lot of people who don't fuck with their families. A lot of people have issues with this system and this society. A lot of people have issues with their mental health or their physical health and there's a lot of like restrictions, and people don't really enjoy their lives because they feel restricted, and there's no real change being made, and there's so much wars and battles going on, so much bullshit going on. So that's one of the reasons why I feel like Earth is like a school or a prison planet for souls to experience in a way. Is because that's what a prison and a school is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, pretty much. Not school, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like, Earth feels like a school, like where like you're restricted, you know, like in a modern day school. I mean, it definitely feels like a prison. So this is why I do question societal corruption, but I also question spiritual corruption. So is there spiritual corruption that's going on that we don't have too much information about? Is there evil entities or negative entities that are in full control that we don't know nothing about? Even if they are in full control of this realm, there are negative entities are responsible for this shit. It's still, if God is real, the universe is real, and if there's like a good energy, if it is out there, it is their fault to a certain extent, because they're the ones that they're giving negative entities their free will to rule over us. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I do believe there is a negative force out there is because when it comes to narcissistic abuse, when it comes to narcissism, there's been a lot of reports of narcissistic people of acting the same way, doing the same shit, and their physical appearance is changing, whether it be through their eye colors, like to pitch black, or how they act like they're possessed by a fucking demon. I'm not talking about the average egotistical person. We're all egotistical. We're all like that to a certain extent. We're all arrogant to a certain extent. I'm not talking about that, because a lot of people who make YouTube videos, they like to abuse the word narcissist or narcissistic people, because one, they themselves, they don't know what it is, and also they have the wrong meaning of it, and also they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just got these terms from all over the internet because it's an ongoing cycle, because most people are followers. They assume they know what it means, but they don't, because they never actually experience narcissistic abuse, or they never actually experience dealing with people who are heavily influenced by a demonic spirit. They're getting it mixed up with them people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about, like me and other people. It's just the word that gets people confused. What people mistake with narcissism and narcissistic, they're mistaking that with arrogance and egotistical and unself-awareness, pretty much. Even the word narcissistic and narcissist, that's not the right word when it comes to what people are experiencing when it comes to demonic possession from others. You know, there should be a different word for it, if that makes sense. Because the definition of narcissistic or narcissism, it means like people who are self-centered, people who are like interested in their own, and they do shit out of their own selfish gain, and people who are very like focused on themselves. So the word in itself is wrong. That should be for people who are assholes. But people who make spiritual content, we talk about demonic possession and how much influence they have with negative entities influencing them. That should be a different word. It shouldn't be narcissist or narcissistic word. It should be demonic possession, in my opinion. That sounds kind of like dramatic, but that should honestly be what it is. So this is why I understand why people could get it mixed up. But there are people who actually experience demonic possession from other people. That shit is a real thing. Because and not only that, but you do have certain spiritual YouTubers, they do be saying a lot of bullshit just so they could gain viewers and subscribers, or they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just talking out their ass pretty much, so they could like make content constantly. But people like, they do talk about demonic possession, but they mix up the word with narcissism, and then they come up with their own definitions, own experiences, and that's why they fuck everything up, because they never, especially people who never actually experienced this shit, they just got information off of YouTube or other YouTube videos. They get it mixed up, they mix up their own words, and that's how they trick a lot of people. So now people think they can misuse or abuse the word narcissist or narcissistic people, you know what I'm saying? Again, there's nothing wrong with their definition. They're talking about arrogant people, but it's the wording, narcissist, that's where people get mixed up at. The type of shit that a select few people that actually experience like real damage when it comes to people who like mentally and psychologically scar them, what these people experience, like me and other people, the type of shit we experienced was people being demonically possessed by a negative entity. I know that sounds dramatic, kind of corny, but and new agey, but that's the best word I could. That's the best term I could look for, or them being spiritually influenced by a negative spirit or a negative entity. That shit is actually a real thing. So that's why I do believe that there is a negative force or a negative energy that also comes to play when it comes to this reality, when it comes to this realm, pretty much. There's videos. I want to give examples because I feel like, I think it's my intuition is telling me to give y'all who's watching this some examples of like demonic possession or people who are influenced by negative entity. Videos I could recommend, because a lot to explain, but the videos I could recommend people who actually experience this shit is check out New Mind Frame, NUMINDFRAME. She actually experienced demonic possession when it comes to narcissistic abuse. Just check out her videos, just type in her name, and she talks about videos like this, her experiences and her stories like that, and signs you're experiencing spiritual warfare, how that ties into demonic possession in a way. Also, there's other channels, but they kind of mix it up with their own wordings. This is a lot to explain. Basically, these people who are demonically possessed, they operate from the same handbook. They do the same shit. When it comes to manipulation tactics, they're so good at biting their hand. They're so good at like abusing you and mistreating you, and then behind closed doors, like no one believes them or no one believes their side of the story. They're so good at manipulating you. They're so good at turning other people to go against you. They're so good at psychologically confusing and scarring you to where your energy is low. They take your energy, they steal your energy, whether it be financially, mentally. They could take away your innocence if possible, and it happens at a rate to where you not even realize what's going on, because they're so highly skilled at being manipulative and highly skilled at influence you to do harmful shit towards yourself, and they're so good at influencing other people to attack you and stuff like that, or like even other symptoms that are more harsh that some people are like, these type of people who are demonic possessed, they're good at mental manipulation and attacks. But there's also other people who are influenced by demonic entities are also more physical. So if you were to call them out on their bullshit, or if you were to like stand their ground, they will lay your hands on you. They will charge you. They will attack you, whether it be verbally or physically. That shit is a real thing. Especially verbally, these are the more aggressive ones. And a lot of people experience this shit. It's all the same stories, and how they act is always the same thing. So clearly that's a demonic spirit, and physical appearances of their eyes changing colors and shit like that, like to pitch black, and even their voice tone and how they switch up from normal to like rage. It's not bipolar, it's more so like, because it's not like human beings don't act like that pretty much. It's very disturbing. So this shit is a real thing. And then it's like you're talking to a whole different person that you used to know, and once you try to like reason with them or try to tell them, hey, what's wrong, you're never like this, they don't have the answers, or like there's like a certain energy that's preventing you from getting the answers you need from them, so that's what some people experience when during these abusive households, or when they're experiencing some type of generational trauma, generational curses, and a lot of like domestic violence and domestic households and shit like that. Like, again, domestic violence, and people were being attacked by their family members and by other people at the workplace and shit like that. It's all negative entity influence pretty much, or negative energy influence pretty much. So with narcissistic people, when people talk about them, they're mistaking it for people who are very arrogant, people who are very self-centered, people who are very emotionally immature, and people who lack self-awareness pretty much. That's what it is pretty much. So anyways, so where was I getting at? But that's why I feel so restricted in this world, because it's like, yes, I could go out, I could have fun, I could put myself out there and be social and do what I want, but it's hard for me to do that, because when I'm working 5 times a week, I feel so drained. It's like I feel so drained, I feel so exhausted, I feel so tired, because it's like, man, like I feel like I could be doing so much. I feel like I could be living life. I feel like everyone experiences, like, we all could be living life and enjoying it, but like the system kind of limits us in a way to where, like, we're just stuck and stagnant. Like I feel like, because we drain so much of our energy doing shit that we don't want to do, but we're forced to do it out of survival, because of how evil and how corrupted this system is, just to make money and have certain type of benefits and resources. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird, man. So yeah, that's what kind of discourages me, especially like if you can't get out of your hometown state, if you can't get out of your abusive family household, or if you're stuck at a toxic work situation, you can't get out of it unless you have money, unless you have resources to do so. You know, and that when a lot of people, including myself, we all have experienced being stuck in a situation to where we can't get out of our state, we can't get out of our shitty hometown, we can't remove ourselves from these toxic work environments that aren't serving us, or that we're not, or that aren't in the right alignment with us. It's hard for us to get out of our family household situations, or let alone it's hard for us to get out of our shitty ass apartment or our shitty ass living area that we don't want to be in because of the society, because how it's set up. Because in order for you to remove yourself from those things, you have to have resources and money. But it's so hard to make money freely and very smoothly and fast on the internet, because the internet is being controlled, YouTube is being shadow banned. It's so hard, it takes time, and you have to work 5 times a week just to make good money, and that takes most of your time. So it's like, you know, like, and yes, you can save up, but like, what is, like, if you want to go out, what happens if you want to travel, what happens if you want to explore, and since everything costs money, you could easily lose that money. And there's other things, other courses you want to learn that you're interested in, but that costs money. So it's like, what happens if you get scammed, what happens if you get robbed, you got to pay for your car payments, you know what I'm saying? So there's so much shit you got to do, you know? So like, all I'm saying is that, like, yes, I feel like it is possible for you to live the type of life you want, but within this world, within this society, you're just gonna have to go through so much bullshit and so much stagnancy, and it kind of wastes your life away just for you just to live an ideal life that you want to live. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta go through so much bullshit. You gotta do so much just to make money, just to play the game, for you to maneuver and live the type of life you want to live, for you just to make paper. That's what I'm trying to get at. So it's fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So and it gets discouraging too, because like I be thinking to myself, where if I feel stuck, or if I don't like doing certain things when it comes to my work situation, or when it comes to my living situation, it's like, but that's the only thing I could do. I am trying to find ways to make money, but that's taking a long time. I'm not giving up, but I'm still trying to find different ways. I'm still trying to remain patient. I'm still trying to talk to the universe or God, the reason why I'm experiencing this. And it's just like, I'm doing all those things, but it's just like, am I really wasting my life away, like constantly doing shit that's wasting my time that I'd rather not do, that's meaningless, hoping that one day like I could save up and build up enough resources, income for me to get out of my situation to live the type of life I want to live? So those are the questions I'd be asking myself, you know? Life happens fast too, so you got time speeding up, you got the days going a lot faster, so it's like, it's crazy, man. You know, so because a lot of people don't like their situation. A lot of people aren't satisfied with where they're at. They're annoyed and they're fed up and they're irritated, but they're forced to do it, sadly, because of the system, because of the society. And people want to say, oh, if you don't like what you do, then just quit and just do this and do that. But people don't get, like, this shit is hard. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, because you have to like start all over, go through the process and try to re-strategize your life. You got to go through all this shit, and it takes more time just to do that, just to start from plan B, just start from point A to point B, you know? So it's crazy. I feel like a lot of people, I feel like in this society, in this world, it does downplay your potential. It does downplay your mission in a way, because we take up so much. The system takes up most of our time working for these jobs. We work 5 times a week. That's a long time. A 9 to 5, that's a long time. Just to maintain a house, just to maintain a car and resources, in hopes that one day you can invest and save in the right things so you can live the type of life you want to live, i.e. retirement. You know what I'm saying? So without a doubt, I do feel like, even myself, that we all did waste our time, waste our potential, waste our ability to offer to the world to a certain extent. You know, so this shit's frustrating. You know, but that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace.